Beth from Pass the Plants, and today we're going to make Instant Pot vegan sloppy joes. Let's get started. Okay, so one of the best reasons to use an Instant Pot is because it can make things that's take things that take a long time to cook, stirring over the stove, and you can just put it in, set it, and forget it. It's awesome. So that's why I love using this for the sloppy joes, specifically these, because they use a mix of lentils, and the Instant Pot does a really good job of cooking the lentils so that they're a perfect texture for this dish. So that's what we're gonna do, is get the Instant Pot on a saute mode. So I'm gonna put this on saute on the low version, and you hit this adjust button to the less, and that's just so it won't get too hot as I'm chopping everything up. So we're gonna start with some red bell pepper. You can also use green pepper, or I also love the flavor of poblano peppers. They're a little spicier though, so keep that in mind. Got that ready to go. And now this recipe calls for 1 large onion. I don't think it meant this large. This is the one I got from I have an organic produce delivery box that comes every couple of weeks, and this thing is huge. So I'm not gonna use all of it, but maybe like 3/4 of it. Trim off the ends. And cut through, pole to pole. And then I'll just take this part and set that aside, because I ain't gonna be needing that. Okay, and then we'll just get our dice on. So when you cut it lengthwise, when you cut through, then you've got these nice little guidelines to kind of show you where to cut your nice dice. Woo! Try to come with my knife. So now it's time to saute these. You can use just a splash of water. If you want to go oil-free, I always use just a tiny bit of olive oil, but it doesn't matter. Sometimes I skip the oil. But get that going. It's already starting to pop on the Instant Pot there. Get those in. Okay, so this has cooked enough, I think, to go ahead and add all the rest of the ingredients. So we'll go ahead and turn this off so it'll stop sauteing everything. And we're gonna add the rest of our ingredients. So the next ingredients are the lentils. So we have green, you might see them also referred to as brown lentils, and then some red lentils. And the red lentils will go to mush in the pot, which is actually good because it's gonna give the sloppy joes some body. But then the green lentils will hold their shape, so give it a little bit of more texture. And so I'm gonna just rinse these real quick in this strainer, because when they come from the store, they'll often have like a little bit of dust or stones inside. So we'll just rinse those off and then get them in. Okay, so I'm just holding this bowl under to catch the water as I put this in. All right, so now we have our liquid and flavoring. So I'm gonna add 3 cups of water. The order that I'm doing this is important, especially for the last item that we'll put in, because the Instant Pot can burn things or let things stick to the bottom if we're not careful. So we've got 3 cups of water. Just gonna get that stirred around. Okay, and then we have 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, vegan Worcestershire sauce. Pour that in there. And then we have a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of oregano, and a tablespoon of ground cumin. And then you can optionally add a little bit of maple syrup. I find that the sweetness helps balance it out a little bit. I'll just do a tablespoon. Isn't this cool, this little pouch? That's how my maple syrup came when I bought it this time. Okay, and then we also need 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. That's gonna give it that tangy, sloppy joey flavor. Add that in there. Okay, and then we have a 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. I really love these fire roasted ones because they're just gonna give it a little extra smoky flavor. But the reason that I add this at the end is because the Instant Pot will often detect tomato products as being really sugary, and they'll stick to the bottom of the pot and it'll set off this burn function. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's ruined. It just means that the pot will stop cooking, and then you have to start the whole process of coming up to pressure again once you've kind of stirred it all up. So we'll just add this on in here. Okay, so now we are going to lock this up and set our little toggle here to sealing instead of venting. We're going to put on manual pressure. Ooh, where are you? Manual. For 13 minutes. Okay, so first the time to come to pressure will happen. That's about 10 minutes. Then the cooking time will go 13 minutes. And then we do just go ahead and let the natural pressure release happen. So that will probably be another 15, 20 minutes before the pressure is released. So that whole process takes about 45 minutes, but you can walk away and do whatever you want in that time and get the rest of dinner ready to go. So we'll come back, get this all stirred up and serve it on some toasty buns. Okay, so it's been about 25 minutes and the pressure released naturally on its own. If you're at the 20-minute mark and you just can't wait and it hasn't gone down, just go ahead and release the pressure with the valve and it'll let the last little wisps of pressure away. But we're good to go now. This is nice and thick and sloppy. If you have time to let it thicken up a little bit, overnight would be awesome, honestly, because that's going to make the flavors combine a little bit better too. But if you don't have time for that, just know that it's going to be just a smidge wet. It could potentially be. If you happen to have some sort of a vegan ground meat substitute, like for example, some leftover vegetable meat substitute from pasttheplants.com, here's some taco meat that I have, some vegan taco meat. And this is cauliflower, mushrooms, carrots, onions, pepitas, and walnuts, and sun-dried tomatoes, all ground, shredded down and cooked, and it's so yummy. And it makes it look like the texture of ground meat. So I happen to have some of this left over, so I'm gonna throw it in here. If you don't, you have plenty of protein, plenty of fiber and vegetables from the basic recipe. But if you do happen to have some of this on hand, it's a great thing to add. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. So we're gonna go ahead and put a few different recipes all together for our Sloppy Joe dinner night. So I have a nice crusty bun all toasted up and ready to go. It's important to toast it because that will keep the bun from getting too soggy once you put the Sloppy Joe mixture on. Some nice corn on the cob. And then I also have two different side options. My Southwestern potato salad, which you can get a link in the description to the recipe. So we'll get that plated up here. This is like a perfect summer meal, and you don't have to heat up your stove top because you're doing it in the Instant Pot. And then this is my easy vegan coleslaw, and it's so yummy. We have a super fun trick to get the perfect texture from the cabbage. That would be an awesome side as well. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit here on the plate. Sticking my fork here. Oh man, talk about getting all your veggies. So now we're going to go ahead and plate this Sloppy Joes up and see how sloppy they really are when it comes time to eating them. Oh yeah, sloppy, sloppy. That's what it's all about. Now I really love to add some coleslaw right on top of this. It just adds some really wonderful texture in contrast to the sloppy. Oh man, that's definitely sloppy. I probably put a little too much on. That's okay. Oh man, I might have to fork and knife this one. We'll see how that goes. Yum. All right, that's it. Instant Pot vegan Sloppy Joes. Hot. Hope you'll make it. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Have a great day, everybody.